Yeah. Now let's try to understand CloudTrail. CloudTrail. So what is CloudTrail? Why we require CloudTrail? So CloudTrail provides a detailed record of all actions taken within an AWS account. This includes actions taken by users, services, and applications. So CloudTrail records all API activity within an AWS account. So what does it mean? So CloudTrail is a monitoring tool which will monitor our AWS console. So in AWS console, for example, we are 10 members are working with same project, right? So we are 10 members, we are working with the same project. So who is doing what? How can we track? So by using CloudTrail records, CloudTrail logs, we can track the changes like who is doing what. So for example, you are creating some servers, you are modifying some servers, right? So every action, one log will be generated. Every action. So in that log, your name will be available, right? You can easily track. So what is going on AWS account. So this is mainly for client audits, right? So normally in real-time projects, for example, every month some billing is happening for AWS account. We are working with client account, client project. So we are managing the client account, client billing, right? So for example, last 6 months, yeah. So stable billing happened, but yeah. So before last 6 months, one stable billing happened, but in that 6 months, 1 month highest bill happened. So client to check the CloudTrail logs. Why this much of bill happened? So how many resources created? So how many servers added? How many elastic type is added? So why this much of billing is happening? Unnecessary resources are using or not? So they check always by using this. And also, if anything goes wrong in the environment, for example, any production server is deleted, or any storage is deleted, or any applications down, anything happened in the environment. So by using this CloudTrail logs, we can easily identify, right? So to track this, to track your infrastructure, to track your resources, we use the CloudTrail. So we have another tool also, which is CloudWatch. CloudWatch. So CloudTrail is completely AWS console monitoring. AWS console monitoring. In the console, whatever actions we perform, one log will be generated. So CloudWatch is a infrastructure monitoring, server monitoring, storage monitoring, network monitoring, right? Yeah. So these are the two important monitoring tools. So let's try to understand first CloudTrail. First, we can work on this. Okay. Yeah. CloudWatch we'll see later once we complete this. Okay. Yeah. So CloudTrail we can create now. CloudTrail. Let us go back to services. Click on management and governance. See here, CloudTrail and CloudWatch, right? So click on CloudTrail. Go to dashboard. See here, dashboard, event history, insights, right? So different things are there. Click on this dashboard. See here, these are the events happened in my console. These are the events. Now go to event history. Click on event history. This is my event history. See here, these are the today's logs. 11th, June 11th. From here it started. From here. Even when I log in into AWS console, when I log into AWS console, one log is generated here. See here. Console login. What time I logged in here? 8:13. 8:13. As a root I logged in. Right? Yeah. So after that, what I did here? Create virtual MFA device. What time? Yeah. Create a virtual MFA device. I do one thing. I do one thing. I just want to sign out here. Click on sign out. login as a user, not it's, root user. I am user. I want to log in. Before login, we required security check code, right? Just a minute. Need to get the security check code first before login to. Click on I am. Yes. Just copy this. Now, so I want to show you something here. So when we log in using IM account or any other account, how the logs will be generated, I wanted to show you. So security check code we have to do there. Next, DevOps. So now I am able to log in using my user account. So my default region is Ohio. Yeah. Now what I will do, just want to go to EC2 and I want to delete something. What will happen? I'll show you. So now volumes. Yeah. So I wanted to show you something here. So key pairs also I want to remove few key pairs. Now, yeah, let us go back here. CloudTrail. So I removed some resources here, right? So what will happen? I wanted to show you here. So when we use IM account in real-time projects, so when you remove any resources or when you add any resources, how the tracking will be happen? I wanted to show you. Now sign out here. So even as a even when you log in using your IM account, also you can check the logs here. Okay. So switch to root account here. Now click on CloudTrail. So logs will be generated. It takes a few minutes to generate logs. Click on event history. See here, console login, username, DevOps user one, right? So click on this log. Click on this log. See here, event time 8:32, July 11th, right? So username, this user. So event name, console login. He logged into the console. He logged into the console. Event source. Yeah, this is the source. Source IP address. Event ID. Right. So region. So first I logged in US East one. After that I switched to East two. Right. Yeah. So this is the history. Right. So details. So for example, if any resources deleted, you can easily track this using CloudTrail. Right. Yeah. Now go back to dashboard. Another logs also generating here. Yeah. So today when I log in my console, these are the logs generated. First time today, yeah, when I log in my console. So created MFA, console login, different things. Okay. Yeah. So these logs are available until 90 days only. Whatever CloudTrail logs are available in the CloudTrail console in the event history, these logs will be available until 90 days only. 90 days only. So after 90 days, what will happen? This will be retained. This will be gone, right? So if you want to download any events, you can download from here. Download events. So either CSV format and or JSON format. CSV. What is CSV? Comma separated value, right? JSON. So both formats you can download if you want to download. And also this dashboard, if you want to customize, you can customize. So currently 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 columns are there, right? So if you want to customize, you can customize this. Go to settings here. So now we can customize this. So how many columns you want to use? Event type I don't require. Source IP required, AWS access key. I can demo. Resource name, resource type. Okay, confirm. See here, this columns reduced, right? Yeah. So like this, if you want to customize your dashboard, you can customize, and if you want to download these logs, you can download any these two formats. Okay, but here every day, one person minimum 100 logs will be generated. So every engineer log into the same console, right? Every engineer log into the same console, right? So using your own account, own credentials, we can log into AWS account. So here, yeah, so 8:33 I logged in. So I got this many logs. One, two, yeah, this is a user account. North Virginia. So I logged in North Virginia today. So IAM is global service, right? Any region you can log in, not an issue. Okay. So this many logs generated today. Okay. Yeah. So every engineer minimum 100 to 200 logs will be generated, because whatever actions you perform, for every action one log will be generated, right? For example, 10 members are there. 10 into 100, 1,000 logs will be generated per day, right? So these logs will be expire after 3 months, right? But 1,000 logs can we download daily? No, right? So 1,000 logs we can't download, we can't save in our local system, right? So because sometimes what will happen, if any major issues happen or anything happen, so client asks you to provide the logs, right? And also, so even 1 year back log also sometimes they ask you to provide 1 year back log also. So into 2022 December something happened, I required that logs. They'll ask you to provide. So if you require that logs, what will happen? Logs will not be available, right? After 3 months. So that is why what we will do. So this we can automate. This we can automate. We can save somewhere logs, right? Yeah. So in our project, we created some rules. We automated this. We automated these logs. Last 10 years logs we saved. Last 10 years logs, right? So how can we automate this, right? Now we'll try to understand. So this log should not be deleted. Okay, I want to save somewhere. So whenever client required or whenever management required, so we can easily track that, right? So we don't need to download every day. That is big challenge. That is what we can do. So we can create trails here. Trails. Click on create trails. Trails. What is trail? Trail is nothing but it is a rule. It is a rule, right? So this logs, whatever logs are generating, those we can move to any other storage that will be stored permanently until you delete your storage. Okay. Yeah, this is the rule. Now I want to create trails here. So click on trails. So here lake, dashboard, query, event data stores. Yeah, so these are not required basically. So these are the settings, your CloudTrail settings. If you want to modify any settings, you can modify here. So default settings you can use. Don't change anything here. Don't change anything. So go to trails. Click on trails. Now create trail. Click on create trail. Yeah, now you can give the name CloudTrail. CloudTrail. See here. Now it is asking you to create a new S3 bucket or use existing S3 bucket. So whatever logs are generating, those we can move to S3 bucket, right? So from here you can create new S3 bucket or else you can use existing one also. Click on use existing S3 bucket. So now we can select here, click on browse and you can select the bucket here. See here, this is our S3 bucket, right? I want to select this. Click on choose. Now this prefix is not required. Yeah, log file SSE KMS encryption. So encryption, if you want to enable, you can enable or else you can disable encryption. I want to disable this. Log file validation, you can keep as is. CloudWatch logs, this is optional. If you want to enable CloudWatch for this logs, you can enable here. Okay. Next one, tags. Tag name you can give name, CloudTrail. Click on next. Yeah, now it is showing here event type, which events you want to store into S3 bucket. Okay. Yeah, so management events, data events, insight events, all these events. Yeah, now so here I want to select S3 to store this. Next one, log selector template. Templates not required. We are creating new rule here. So add data event type. So data event type also not required here. So inside events also not required. API call rate, API error rate. So don't require. So all the logs will be moved to S3 bucket. Okay, click on next here. So they are asking you to select this. Okay, keep as is. Okay, click on next. See here. CloudTrail name, trail name, CloudTrail. So multi-region, yeah, enabled. Trail log location. This is the location, right? This is the location. In DevOps batch 75, AWS logs, one folder will be created. Instead of the folder, one ID will be created. Instead of this ID, logs will be generated. Okay. Yeah. Now log file validation enabled. SNS notification delivery not enabled. This is disabled. SNS. What is SNS? It is a notification service, simple notification service. So if you enable this, what will happen when any log is generated? When the log is moved to S3 bucket, you get notified through email. So that is notification service, right? So tomorrow I'll show you notification service. So when we configure CloudWatch, by the time we can enable the SNS, so that we'll get the alerts. So while working on CloudWatch, we can check the CPU utilization. By the time we can configure SNS. So when the CPU utilization is reached to 90% or 80%, it will trigger one email that we will see tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, so next one, CloudWatch logs not required here. So tags already given here. Management events, yeah, so we can keep as is. Now click on create trail. Once you click on create trails here, so the trail is created here. The trail is created here. Now, so whatever actions you perform, whatever actions, whatever activities you perform, right? So that will be stored in the S3. One log will be generated that will move to the S3 bucket. So here, yes, is North Virginia created, right? Do one thing. One more trail quickly I can create. So actually, default region we can create. Default region only. Log trail one. String bucket you can select here. Choose. Next, and click on create trail. Yeah, two rules enabled here. Okay. So what will happen? We can see now. So refresh here. Now this is enabled. Inserts enabled. Now go back to change the region here. In default region, Ohio region, I have resources, right? So now go back to EC2. Yeah, from now onwards, whatever actions we perform, that logs will be directly moved to the S3 bucket. Okay, now what I will do, so I want to delete this instance, I don't require this. Now I want to start this instance for getting the log start instance. Now go to, so now we can wait for a few minutes, logs will be generated here. Go back to S3 and we can check S3. So one folder will be created in S3. In that folder, there will be ID. In that ID, we get the logs. Click on S3. So here, AWS logs. One folder is created, right? So click on this. Instead of this, we got one ID. Click on this ID. So click on CloudTrail digest. See here, these are all regions available, right? Now click on US East not available. So wait for a few seconds. US East will be available. So in that we can check the logs. US East is not available currently. Need to wait few minutes. It takes few minutes to generate the logs. These trails we can automate to, we can save somewhere for which we need to automate by creating trails. So click on this ID. Trail. Is there. US East 1 is available. US East 2 required here. Wait for a few seconds, few more seconds. See here, US East 2. So now click on this US East. Yeah, it will show you year first. It will show you year. So in the S3 bucket, one fault is generated, AWS logs. Instead of this, there is a ID. Instead of this, so CloudTrail, just click on this. Now you can click on US East 2. So our resources are available in US East 2, right? Click on US East 2. So instead of this, we have year. Click on year. Now it will show you month, right? See here, month. Click on this. Now it will show you date. Click on date. So these are the logs. So logs started generating here, right? So these logs will be permanent logs. It will not be deleted. Once the logs will be moved to S3 bucket, so until you delete your S3 bucket, this logs will be available. So whenever client required, whenever management required, we can directly go to the S3 bucket and we can click on we can check the date, year, month, date, and we can showcase that logs to the client and management whenever needed. So for example, yesterday some resources deleted, right? So we got some alerts, tickets. Okay, this application is not accessible. So yesterday's date, we can go to S3 bucket and we can track that using date. Whenever we get alerts and emails, so we can check the date wise, right? So here, yeah, since long we can check the logs. So by using this in our project, yeah, last 10 years logs we saved in our S3 bucket. So region wise, if you have any resources in other region, US West 1, US West 2, right? Europe, Europe Central, Canada Central, AP Southeast, Africa South, yeah, South Africa, right? Yeah. So here, year wise, date wise, you can easily track. So until you delete the trail, the logs will be moved to S3 bucket, right? Clear, right, everyone? This is mainly for a tracking end. So this is mainly for console monitoring, AWS console monitoring. So infrastructure monitoring is different, console monitoring is different, right? So in the console, whatever actions we perform, one log will be generated on your name. Okay, clear, right, everyone? We don't have any virtualization tool here, so we don't assign this CloudTrail to any of the VM. CloudTrail is just console monitoring. CloudWatch is infrastructure monitoring. That we will see. Someone asking question here. So how can we assign? How to assign this CloudWatch? Cloud. This is CloudWatch, right? CloudTrail. We are talking about CloudTrail. So we'll see CloudWatch tomorrow. How can we assign? How can we configure CloudWatch? How can we assign resources to CloudWatch? How it will monitor? How will get emails? That we'll see tomorrow. Clear, right, everyone? So this you need to practice. MFA you need to practice. MFA is very, very important. Interview question also. So CloudTrail also very important. Interview question. Okay. So CloudWatch will take 1 hour. Tomorrow we'll work on CloudWatch. So how can we put the load into server? How it will increase the CPU utilization, right? So how can we get the alerts when the threshold reaches, when the CPU utilization reaches to 80% or 90%? How will we get the emails? That we'll see practically tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see the CloudWatch. We'll work on CloudWatch. Yeah, so how can we enable CloudWatch for infrastructure? We'll see that. Yeah, someone, yeah, 5031. Go ahead and ask your question. So your hand, right? So 5031. Who is this?
Hello. Hello.
Venkatesh.
Yeah.
I think Venkatesh. Yeah, wait for a minute. Pavana. Yeah, Venkatesh can go ahead. 5031. HRT 5031.
Sir, how can we
Fine.
integrate IIM users into GitHub or Jenkins, any other tools?
How can we integrate with the GitHub? That we will see
IIM
later.
users.
Wait for
IIM
some
users.
time. Yeah, yeah. So in real-time projects, always we use IAM accounts only, right? So in AWS, we can log in using IAM account, and we can integrate all the tools with the AWS, right? We don't use the root account in real-time projects. We'll see that later. So Jenkins, while working on Jenkins, I'll show you, right? Wait for some time.
Okay.
Any other questions, anyone?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. How can we create like MFA for other users? Like right now we created for the root user for our own account. So how
Mhm.
can we assign the same for other users also?
How can we send for other users?
Others, like if we create some kind of accounts for some organization, so if we want to enable the MFA, so how can we do that?
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. So here MFA already enabled here, right? MFA already enabled. So when the IM account is created, so you need to download one authenticator, Google Authenticator in his mobile. He can use directly. So account level we enable the MFA. You understand, right? Account level we enable the MFA in console. But when any user log into the console, they need to use the authenticator, Google Authenticator, to connect to our
Okay.
console.
Okay, so today we will try to like create by ourselves one IAM account and then we assign the MFA for the same.
Yes,
So if there is
yes,
any issue, then we can ask.
yes. You can try that. Fine. So you can practice this. Tomorrow we'll work on CloudWatch. CloudWatch is very important too. So how can we
And what
uh, configure
what are
CloudWatch?
inside events? Inside
Events.
events.
Inside events means your console inside events. So like whatever events are generating while performing actions.
Okay.
Okay. So any other questions, anyone?
The CloudTrail only logs will be generated, or what we are, what we did in the AWS, all will be recorded.
Yes, yes, correct. In the console, whatever actions we perform, AWS console. So whatever actions we perform, every action one log will be generated by CloudTrail,
That will be
right?
moved into S3 bucket. Is it correct?
Mhm. Yes, we can save this logs in S3 bucket by configuring trails. So how can we remove the trails? I'll show you now quickly. I can show you. How can we remove the trails? So if you don't remove the trails, what will happen? So all the
Billing will
logs
be
will be
happen.
saved in S3 bucket, right? So go to trails here, click on trails. Now you can select your trails. Okay. Why it is not removing? It is not, it is disabled, right? Because what we have to do, first we need to remove the logs from S3 bucket. First we need to remove the logs from S3 bucket. So then only it will allow you. So everyone, can you mute for a minute? Go back to Trails, CloudTrail. Okay, still it is disabling mode, right? Click on Trail, CloudTrail. So now we need to delete from here. See here, delete. Click on delete. This trails we need to delete. So once you delete that, it is allowing. So if you have more than one trail, it will not directly allow, right? So that is why you need to click on that and you need to select and delete. So here, if you have only one trail, you can select here and you can delete here. Now it is deleted. So logs will be stopped. Fine. So this is the way we can configure the cloud trails in real-time projects. So in real time, so already when you join to the project, already available, that logs we need to monitor. So when the cloud platform opted by client, so by the time CloudTrail will be enabled. So we need to monitor the logs. Okay. If you get a chance to create trail, you can create. Fine.